Don't let me go. Mama, Panama, don't me mad, don't me mad, don't me mad, don't me mad. No more, yeah, no more, yeah. I'm not away, don't let me mom. Don't let me mom, about them, bubble. Salon them, about them, bubble. Salon them, about them, bubble. Ewa, ewa, Kuna mewelo komie, kuna wewelo ndemima, yalo ndemanga bade bobo, anadobo na oga egina, anadobo na oga egina. Ewa o ana ewa, donde wanu na muye, donde wanu na muye, donde wanu na wela boga egina ye. Ne wela boga egina ye, tono egana, longega nyunga, ana egana lomo garenye, dua lomo bo, anama, dua lomo bo. Ana ele ngabemwe, ana ele ngabemwe, ya kuna lomo miwa, ena wega londe mima, ya londe manga wade ipobo. Yalo nema ngabade ibobo, ana elo, ana elo, ana elo, ewala, ana ewa, ewala, ana ewa, ana elo, egawa, yenawe, tomo miwa. Kuruna mwiwe londe ni mwae, yade mponga bate ibobo. Ana kwetu mo, ana kwetu mo, ana kwetu mo, ana kwetu mo, ana kwetu mo. Ana adopanywe, ana adopanywe, ana adopanyo, malo na wasonyo, malo na wasonyo. Sandala juwa ba walongo, sandala juwa ba walongo. Engana wale kamombo kabalu nebubo. Ewa ana ewa londe manu namuye, ana ewa londe manu namuye, londe manu namuye. Mwatana onganwa. Taona tuwale ngabemwe, tuwale kuna bobe muneruko. Dawaliye dili nyangela, dieka ngabebo agelo debo. Dawa kweja liba mwalo, kayele liba teo, kayele liba walomo. Dale nyarela diwa mwebu, nyangwe da mwngwe, nyanga duba diga mwenukwe. Kedale ya malungwa wo bubaleye. Bubaleye kweraga yekebo. Bubaleye kweraga yekebo. Ya moyo, ya mo pabale mema. Malone bubaleye yenga. Ya mo papaye bale yenga. Ya mo papaye bale yenga. Dana delu molebo, dana badu ngama yangodia, dedia ke ya balu wawe, ya no wabo vale yunga, ya no wabo vale yunga peraga yedebo. Ewa, ana ewa, lo demanu namuye. Ewa, ana ewa, lo demanu namuye. Analine kwela galo nebo. Analine kwela galo nebo. Analelo maluno na asanyo. Maluno na asanyo. Monge bae kasanyo. Monge bae kasanyo. Monge bae kasanyo. Kwanga nyawinga nwa. Kwanga nyawinga nwa. Wale kuna mbege elo newa. Wale kuna mbege elo newa. Alo mayanga yele kamoba. Alo be yele mediba. Abalo nebo abale ye. Abalo nebo abale ye. Abalo nebo abale ye. Yole nyela yolo bena. Yole nyela yolo bena.
All right, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the show on the Constantly and Salt of Taking you to Greater Liberia this evening. We say good evening to welcome to the show. This is Wednesday, and this is All Things Considered right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. So let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. Let's welcome Mr. Charlie Weird. Goes with me. Collie is here. My man Fumble is here from Allentown. I'm Mario. And the next time I get in going through Philly area, I have to start by Fumble. Thank you so much for your commitment to this network. We appreciate and all of you. Tino is here. Patricia Tabrima, McDinant Ray. And all of you great guys, we want to welcome you this evening. This is All Things Considered right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Thank you so much for joining us. Very shortly, we'll get this program going. And as usual, we'll discuss national issue, and we are hoping our correspondent on a special assignment will be joining us here very shortly. Venetia's Malba is here. These are liberal fans. I don't know, you're really not texting, so they come here. They are Jerry Backcount and the liberal fans. Welcome. This is the rhythm that introduces the program, All Things Considered, right here on the Diaspora Informative News Network. Welcome to the show. Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much. Let's get the ball rolling. So right here, time is fast spent, and this is All Things Considered. I am your host, your presenter, Tan Angle, here this evening. Lee host on the Liberia Public Radio, Tafanso Zienso, right here, this beautiful evening here, 8:10 Eastern Standard Time. We say good evening to all our viewers and listeners. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. We are not in competition. The only competition we find ourselves in, quality versus quantity. And we believe quality is more guaranteed because quantity is fake. It just is on a temporary basis. So you want to deal with what is right. On the basis of that, well, this network is fully represented from analysts from the various political view. But guess what? We hold them accountable. And we ourselves, as facilitators of this program, we must be held accountable and must try to talk and walk the walk. But as usual, there are some here who always, and they will, protect their own alligator because they are politically minded and driven in making sure that the political goddess voices are heard. However, we put them in charge. So it doesn't matter which political party we represent. Our microphone is open. If you want to be a contributor, you want to be an analyst, just get a tasting like Mr. Jerry Washington Tobacco. The guy, I changed his name, but he never gets annoyed. We cool, I go to your house, eat, we drink beer, we do everything, but I call him the name. That's how I feel. Does that make him to be like that? What? That questions is up to him. But that's how I feel because I feel we all must be held accountable. So they are here this evening. It's again Victoria Again, good to have you here. Mr. Joseph B. Tappe. Good to have you. Hopefully it goes well. I started a conversation here one day before yesterday with respect to the drive of the education assistant, and I made a commitment here that we're going to do everything possible to dispatch our correspondent and Nima County. What? By the grace of God, they are arrived. There's a big conference going to get on the way tomorrow in Nima County. And so this is where my interest is. We got to go where the new is. Whether people go for a cash, I know we operate within the scope of our limited resources. Let me bring in my man, Jerry Washington Bako. I thought he was in China. He told me you're going to be going to China. I don't know whether the flight left him beyond or who left who beyond. Well, that's okay. So let's see here. Let's bring in here. Let me see. Let me get it right overlay here. Oh, this is Jerry is doing some of his thing. This is all things considered. Okay, let me bring in Mr. Barkons. Is right here within my own proximity in the Ocean State of Ireland. Protected. Wow, my man, you're as a power you. Is it your whole chat falling? Yeah. What the picture? Is that where you can? Is that where that you can get that your? Yeah, the biker boys are the biker boys in the oil. Okay, make that your picture be so we see a Google.
Listen.
I should get you on the screen a little bit.
All right, look. I'm somewhere and I will join you in 30 minutes. So I just wanted to come on the show. I will brief you when I get there. But I'm somewhere and I saw you coming on. So please give me the audience. I will be within 30 minutes. I'm leaving from here now. I'm in a meeting. I just came here. So after the meeting, my man, I'll text you in a meeting. I said, just in a meeting. I'm in a different area. Just telling you.
No, yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, hold on, man.
I just came. Thank you. I just want to. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. These guys, we got to pin them down as well. We can't allow them to come be doing tabata. Yeah, just hang up and that would be good. Okay, let's welcome the president emeritus, the Honorable Gate Dwarslet, the former national president of the mother organizations of right here in the USA, that's ULA, is based. I understand. I think it has next to Obama Palace or so. So you get a nice big palace to Gate Dwarslet. Jennings is former national president of the Unions of the Librarian Association here in ULAT. Thank you so much for your service to the community. Mr. William David, thank you so much. And I thought he is marching in. Well, today is All Things Considered. All Things Considered is an informative news magazine. So right here, that profiles all of the major happening from Wednesday to Wednesday to recap them. And of course, we intend not to leave no one behind. You also, your voice or voices will also be heard by allowing you to speak your mind about your country, but we urge is done in a civil context. The liberal is not in charge, so you good. He's not going to create an artificial phone. It's a Chinese phone. So once you not in agreement with him, then of course he cut you off. These are the people that we have to fight against because they feel the country is only theirs, and that's not the case. So they're doing everything possible to protect their political godfathers. And they do not want to give you a voice. And this is why Dr. Jones and myself and the new converted Wiashin, after the Webdent, he claimed to be independent. He go one side, he Wiashin, he comes here, he want to be an independent. Wilton Keto from Connecticut. You have Sister Goyo, the Brown guy, after the Brown went malnourished. He's now seeking political refuge. They are all scrambling over the state radio, preaching what they have created a Zion Grove choir, which the liberal progressive of this network is now leading this conspiracy. He's a Liberty Party guy. They're the Charles Walker Bronskin people. The government, the Chakrari party, broke into pieces. Musa Belete took his part. Nyombi Kanga ran with her own to Bikiana. Darius Dillon Bananve Highway, he get his own part. What is the authenticities of these politicians? They are unable to sustain, to uphold political institutions. And that's the same thing I was talking yesterday. They're so mean. Me. I can remember to the days of Frank Talbot, John G. Ramsey, even they let Charles Walker Bronskin. He was pro tem. These people, they have over 7-8 staffers assigned. They have senior senator chair on foreign affairs tend to be a cameraman to the pro tem. That's a disgrace. You're going live. No staffer or they part their own, they don't know Channel Road, only from Oro, Busekworo, Nikutan, the kind of Capitol building. They are not good to travel. They do not need exposure. You forgot somebody to expose you to modern society. You benefited. Now you are on the hill of the throne. And you're going for such a meeting, the conference. And they were unable to take a press crew to tell the story. Senator tend to be cameraman for pro tem. I don't think we are running social club in that country. These people are going out of their mind. And you have the light of liberal progressive coming here to protect them. Well, we are here to stand for the voices. Our man Mike Dunn is in Nimaganta City. You know, the Jerobacon and the Samson told they are unable to articulate the message. But for us, we are not antagonists to the government. We are not a resistant movement. We are not for, we are not against. We intercede to bring you the news. We don't make up the news. This is why you see most of those guys now, they are explaining because they have to raise these alligators. And these alligators are going like a wild geese now. So they are all, something is bothering them. Let me go to Nima County. Mike Dant, our national head of the Lpr-Tv is in Nima County on a special assignment. Let me just bring him in this early morning. I said that here. Mike Dant is in Nima Ganta. Is that Ganta you are in, Mr. Dant?
Yes, exactly. I'm in Ganta City, Nimba County. Gompa is located about, if for those people who don't know Liberia, Ganta is located about 287 kilometers away from Monrovia. So it's a city centrally east central located, because when you pass Banga, is located after Banga City. It's a border city near Liberia, one of Liberia's neighboring countries. That's two countries actually is border around two countries actually. That's Guinea, the Republic of Guinea, Republic of Guinea, and also Cote d'Ivoire,
Cote d'Ivoire.
which the English people call Ivory Coast. So, but the closest country is Guinea, like Guinea.
Right,
So
Guinea.
we are here
Okay.
in Ghana.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Don, thank you for having you here. Here comes the liberal progressive. He saw his wife right yesterday. He was unable to conduct, so he surrendered. And what they did, he told his man Jerry back on the purposely, they did it on purpose to boycott. But whatever they didn't hear yesterday, I will still let them know. Now come the independent voice, the people that are holding this network. The liberal and his ally, they are doing everything possible. Here come my co-host, uh, Dr. Jones Otavio Mali. It's Lpr-Tv, educational analyst based right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Dr. Jones, thank you so much for your service, for your independency, and making sure that those who are trying to radicalize this network and put you in the columns, sanctioning voices, creating artificial phone lines, not to make other people to speak about their country. Thank you for your service, and we are here. So we're going to have a slide here, but I think this is why you're going to find interest in Dr. Jones because it is your expertise. Our man, Mike Down, is on a special assignment in INIMAT, specifically Ganta. This is all about education. So this is perfectly suit your area expertise here. We are not talking about people who talking about road, the slope go this way and they sit down somewhere, past some part of America here, they can't go and they sit down, they get 5-year-old child. Those are not the people we are talking about. Your microphone is muted, my friend. We're not hearing what you're saying. You're talking to yourself.
Uh,
Okay, so Mike, Liberal, you gotta unmute yourself. It's not my. Don't say I did that.
Better yalla than the expertise to build better yalla than the expertise when you come
What? Don't you know when Bella Yala is built, there will be a job creations. You're gonna have people there to
yalla
take care of
and
business. You're gonna have
socially
psychiatrists and all of
African
those people
social
there. Okay.
that kind of expertise coming to come get your head
So
tonight.
please be respectful to the co-host here this evening because I'm not gonna go in that way. Let's come here quickly. It's very late inside Liberia. Mike Don is joining us. Mike, good morning. Give her a little bit, G's. What is the purpose of
Mike,
that?
good evening to you as well.
Oh, good
You have
morning.
always been a valuable member of this LPR family. And if I may say so, I want to welcome you, take this opportunity to welcome you here again tonight. Please go ahead and talk to
What?
us as usual. I want to welcome you and say thank you very much for joining us.
You welcoming people. You know,
it's a
you
ple-
guys
it's a pleasure again to be on LPR. Having been away for not appearing live, even though I've been doing all the programming and been on actively on the website, ensuring that the website get web content on time, and then doing all the programming and all the administrative work behind the scene. But once again, it's my pleasure to be live on LPR because it's been some months now that I haven't been on the show. Two of our top shows, that is the All Thing Consider and that of the conversation with the analysts as well as conversation with Samson Toll, which I haven't been on for some time. So it's my
I
pleasure being
recognize
here.
that. You see.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure being here, Mr. Toll,
Thank you,
and
Mike, for even
um,
recognizing my show. Thank you
Oh,
very
God,
much.
Jesus.
like Afonso said, I'm in Ganta, in the northeastern part of Liberia. So
You
on a
coming to
special
China.
assignment.
If a fancy say that you in Uganda, that means you're not in Uganda. You gotta say who say before we know you in Uganda. Don't come Chakla to show here now.
No,
We know you in Uganda, you doing your job. Thank you.
something. I'm just trying to just read a quote while he stated. So it's a pleasure. It's a very special time to be here
Thank you, Mike.
at this time, and like you said, I'm on a special mission. For the matter of fact, Ganta is one of the most populated cities in Liberia. Uh, vastly populated. This is number one. Nima County is where Ganta City is located. And since my arrival here, I've seen people going about their normal businesses, their activities, usual business activity. Something you know, this city is a non-sleep city. I don't know which city I should compare him with the states. Which are the city
But
that does not sleep?
I don't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt, Mike. Ganta has always been like that from the earliest days, the day we used to go to Wapa for diamond mining and all that.
Oh,
Ganta has always been a city of a
yeah,
beautiful, beautiful city. When you come from the southeast, in fact, what my mom would do is put a rice and put it in the, wrap it up in a leaf, a big leaf, wrap it and say when we get to Ganta, you will eat. And of course, when we get to Ganta,
So you know what?
that kind of good
If
stuff. So
you and your
Ganta has
Jared,
always been a
listen,
wonderful,
listen,
yeah,
listen.
wonderful,
Hold on.
wonderful.
yeah,
If you and your Jared washing here, they can do your bapa, putting rice in the leaves and all
yeah.
of that. This is a serious business we on here this evening, okay? Mike, let's hear you.
Yeah. So like I was saying, the city is normal. People are going about their normal businesses, business as usual. People are doing normal things here and so forth. So tomorrow, this weekend, let me put it this way: this weekend there will be one significant program that will be taking place. That is the host committee on education will be meeting here in the city on education activities. If I may just read a press release to this verbatimly, the Honorable House of Representatives has amended its Rule 63. Okay, not this. Let me go to it. Okay, let me go to the press release quickly. All right, I'm there. So it says John Legislative Committee on Education, Public Administration to host inaugural national stakeholders, national education stakeholder retreat 2024 is the title of the program. So it's gonna be a very much fantastic program here. Ahead of that, we've come here to provide coverage of it LPR team, thanks to the management team, the US, the board, Mr. Toe, and the rest of the team for your dedicated support towards us. We have come here, and it's on the team transformative approach in building Liberia's educational sector. This pivotal health event is scheduled to take place in here in Uganda City from the 5th to Saturday, the 5th, which is tomorrow, to Saturday, the 7th of September 2024. So they're going to be doing discussing the issue about education, specifically how can Liberian children have access to textbooks, and how can Liberians who are in the business of writing can write textbooks that will be suiting the need of our Liberian kids. So this is what going to be there, which will bring together key figures rather in Liberia education sector, which include the Vice President of Liberia will be doing the opening ceremony. Vice President Jeremiah Kmakun will be doing the opening ceremony. Also, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor Jonathan Fonati Kofa, will also be here, um, as well as the chair on education and public administration, Honorable Thomas Romeo Kuya, will also be here. He will be making remarks, as well as the Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Jala. She will also be here. So it's going to be a very much a significant program. Keynote and dialogue presentation will include a retreat. It will also include series of dialogue presentation with contribution from notable experts, which include Dr. Roland Clark, the national um, Dr. Roland Clark is the national and international consultant in data and management, public policy, clinical education, governance and democracy, peace and reconciliation. He will also be here. Dr.
Okay.
Edward Laman Wonkeyo, Director General of National Commission on Higher Education, is also expected to address this particular occasion. Also, Mr. James Momon, the superintendent of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, will also be addressing this. He will be attending and he will be attending this occasion. Mr. Dave Boto, the head of the National Office of the West Africa Senior School Examination Council, will also be here. The head of Liberia Institute of Public Administration (LIPA), Dr. Frederick N. Batu Senior, will be here. Madam Mobile Newman, National President of Teachers Association of Liberia (NTAL), Mr. Ibrahim Billy, the National Director of the Agriculture Institute Training Bureau. He will also be attending this program. Other participating education institutions will include authorities from permanent institutions that include University of Liberia, the Cornell University, the Tubman University, the Booker Washington Institute, United Methodist University, of course, my alma mater, the African Methodist Episcopal University, the African Episcopal Zion University, AMZU. Authorities from there will also be it. Dr. Benjamin Way, president of the Private School Principal Association of Liberia, is also expected to grace this occasion. So they are going to be a very much packed event here in Ganta City. So they will be talking about the issue of education, and this particular event, the National Education Strategy Retreat, will in to foster a collaborative environment for discussion and for discussing and of course implementing transformative strategies to enhance Liberia educational sector. It will also serve as a platform for stakeholders to share their insight and also challenges about the education sector. Mainly, the issue that has to do with having a textbooks for students, especially textbooks that are Liberian rating. Uh, so these are issues that they're going to be looking at this particular national education retreat.
Okay, so thank you so Mike, for such a great run through, and I know we're going to get more of that. Images, happenings, speakers, and what I'm going to be discussing in Ganta, and ultimately what I'm interested in the implementation aspect, the finishings of this year. No one is much better suited to dive into this yet. Let me come to Dr. Jones Octavio Malice, my co-host again. Thank you so much for the open-minded conversation that you have brought to this network here. So, Dr. Malice, this is everybody get their area. That's your area. You don't want to start being to jump the gun so much yet. It's quite interesting here. From what you are hearing so far, let me get your initial reaction. There's something that you've been pushing around here as well.
Well, first of all, I want to take my hat off to Mr. Dan uh, for his great job, and I think he has kept LPR door open all over Liberia, and that's very good news. Under some constrained circumstances, he still manages to make sure that he keep the fire burning. And I just want to take my time off and say thank you, Mr. Dan, for a great job, well done. And I'm sure in the near future, things going to fall in place. And my greetings to Mr. Collins, Terry, and Libra. Well, I think it's a very good news, but again, a sad day for the educational system. I noted now that too many things are taking the trend of retreat in Liberia. And retreat, actually, they are meant for a very good things. But I don't know whether these retreat are receiving the desired results. Because going by what Mr. Dan had just articulated from this conference, the National Educational Retreat, I think that should have been, in my mind, that should have been the phase 3 when it comes to our national educational issue from our own assessment. That aspect should have been phase 3. And I'm saying this to say that there's too much guesswork in Liberia, that the Liberia educational system has got some problems. You see? And so when we jumping over most of these things, like for instance, first of all, trying to identify the educational problems that will lead us to some database statistics, and these problems will help us move into what I call some reform. And I think the educational system will be taking on a very good look. But when we start making the recommendation, writing textbooks, getting our vernaculars in place, then I'm beginning to wonder whether we have identified the problem and the problem has not taken us to a solution. This is the sound bite I'm getting from the retreat. And don't get me wrong, retreat are very good things to set the agenda tone for what we want to do, you see. But identifying the educational problem, if we cannot identify the educational problem in Liberia, and we are only finding solution to what we think is good, we will always be starting from square one.
Okay, starting from square one. Let's paint the room. Mr. Collins, good to have you here. Is our senior analyst as well. The Liberal Progressive is based in Sacramento, who is a strong supporter of Jose Newman Boycott, now the president. I think this is the conversation. So, the Liberal, here we are. The independent guide already gave his analysis. Let's hear from the Liberal wing.
Thank you, Mr. So, and I also want to say good evening to all of my fellow panelists here tonight. These subject matters are very important, and when we have the opportunity to discuss, we'll take it serious and be responsible in our utterance and what have you. Having said that, Mr. So, I'm just being very, very critical here this evening, and I will also say out front that I hope that this so-called retreat, because the brokers calling themselves lawmaker and what have you, they have heard that the government of the Republic of Liberia continue to generate huge sums of money. The Liberian tax base is getting.
We're not hearing you. Liberal, we are not hearing you. Your microphone is muted.
Okay, all right. Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay, let me say this again. The brokers calling themselves lawmakers, I hope this retreat is not one of those ways where they try to make money. Instead of seeking the interest of the Liberian people, they call this retreat. Look at the people Mr. Don named here. You want to tell me all of them? You think they're buying gas for themselves? You think they're paying their own padam? You think they're going over there in the hotels and the food and everything? They're going to bring the money for themselves? No. The government of the
it's a government. Something. I think it's a government sponsor.
Yes, I agree.
So,
I agree.
yeah.
That's the point that I'm making. This is a government sponsor program. I do agree with that. But my point here is this. These people they're very sophisticated. They will find means to enrich themselves. I said so. And somebody look at this here. Let me just read this to you here very quickly. Okay. Quite recently, Amar Kane and his group in the Senate, they came up and they were doing some looking into the recap broadcast. They said the committee noted that spending on education for the first 6 months of the year, $45.1 million, representing 85% of the allowed for the period. But only 40% is not being spent. They already, you got 100%. That the budget say 100% is targeting toward education, and you're only spending 40%. These people have no inclination of what exactly is happening in the country. They have no clue. They don't want to help because they're not even talking about this. I hope the retreat they're having over there, it has nothing to do with the father of the nation who is on a national tour of different countries seeking help with the agenda on here, appealing to people, reading to them what his agenda is, and people trusting, people believing him, and because of that, they're willing to help him out. I hope these crooks calling themselves lawmakers are not using the opportunity to somehow get money for themselves. Unacceptable.
Okay. Oh, this is so sad. But no, I'm not going to go into this sort of argument because that is last name. Terry.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to have a retreat, but it depends on what the retreat is going to cover. I thought they will have be thinking about. I hope they do some kind of assessment to know how many students, how many kids in that particular community in Nima County or so, where they're having a retreat, how many or children are not in school, how many children are not in school, and what can they do, all right, to contribute to that factor of the kids not going to school. I hope it will cover that. I also hope the retreat is not only going to be restricted to Nima County, but will be done holistically across the country so that they can have an evaluation of how many people going to school. A senator or a representative also were on one of the OKFN show the last time, and he said 70% of the Liberian population is youth. And the fast checker went to check it, and they found out that that was true. So if 70% of the Liberian growing population is young people, which is moving from the age of 15 to 34 years old, then it tells you that it tells you that we have a huge population to educate, to inform. All right. So and that must be done holistically across the country. All right. It's not supposed to only be done, and in one segment of the country. And like you talk about textbooks and all of that. I think I heard you call him Maggie name, Senator Maggie, but he's the one in the Senate that is responsible for education. But the problem is he is he vast educated in that area of education to be able to know what to contribute, what is lacking that need to be contributed to the educational sector in that particular vicinity that will impact the children or the people in Nima County. Because if a person do not have a breast understanding of what they are to tackle, it becomes very difficult as to what to even evaluate, what to discuss in the retreat. What are the priorities, the burning issue that we need to discuss now that will affect the length and breadth of Nima County, thereby that will trickle down on the growing population that needs to be educated. So I don't know on what level books, what kind of textbooks and all that they're talking about that needs to be put into the system. What kind of curriculum, what are they providing? What kind of information are they going to be providing over the period of year to be impacted into our students that they will grow their vocabulary, give them a foundation to the ability for them, because there are a lot of kids that don't even know how to read. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what are they evaluating, what is it all about, but we hope to see more in coming days.
Yeah, so
Okay.
to just make a little bit of correction, Mr. Collins, the retreat, as per what we have read so far, is a national event that will comprise of stakeholders within the education sector. So experts as well will be bringing different perspective, what they think is not being right, that will make the education system to be more vibrant. This is what going to be taking place, and not only textbooks, but there will be other experts who will bring their own perspective, issues that are not being properly handled within the education sector will also be highlighted as per what we are so far read and also heard from some of the stakeholders that will be attending this particular event on today.
Will there also be some civil society organizations attending these programs?
Yes, but so far I haven't heard the name of any civil society person, but so far those within the education sector and also public administration sector, so far these are the people that have been named. So probably there will be people from the from that sector will be attending, but specifically we've not heard any of the name yet.
Okay, lastly, Mr. So do you also know the total budget that is allocated for this particular retreat? Do you have any idea or whatsoever based upon your findings on the total budget that have been allocated to spend on this retreat?
As of today, no, I don't have such a any figure as to what will be allocated for such. But what I know for program as such, it will going to be a 2 days event, and this 2 day event will be taking place at the Jackie's Hotel in here in Ganta. Of course, the Jackie Hotel has a room. So if you were to talk about the lodging, 50%, you're gonna be talking about a little over 6 to 5 to 6 thousand dollars for just lodging and also the hall as well. So it's a bit of costly event. Again, I don't know what or how is the arrangement, because uh, for example, there are other institutions, expert institutions that are coming. They come with their own or maybe their institution sending for them, or the Ministry of Education sending for them. That has not been clearly stated yet. As you know, we've come ahead of them. Many of them will be arriving this morning. Yeah, so
But
yeah.
is there any provision made also for journalists and media institutions that are going to do follow up on the program whatsoever? Is there any provision of budgetary allotment coming
So
from
let me, I think, like guys, let's get this budgetary
No,
thing.
no,
People
absolutely.
what a real me budget and I think what is a key of substance to that we can come to it, but I ultimately I'm interested to see the finishing line of this. What going to be the final communicate? Budgetary on any group of people assemble somewhere, of course, there should be a budget. What is important at the end of the day? What would be the joint communicate? What is the solution? What was discovered? What is the new thing going to be injected? I've been following some of these things, and some of the proposal coming from the representative, the chair, queer, seems to be addressing a lot of issues. However, we do not want to jump ahead of our shadow in terms of to see the end of it. What would be the final communicate? And even if it's a final communicate, would that be implemented? I think this is the responsibility of the media to follow through. If there was any specific plan comes in, we shouldn't go to bed. We should follow through with the relevant group of people. Let's see. But I think if you listened keenly, the run through from Guy, part of the major players, people that are supposed to be there, I probably where they will be there. But let's see what happens. And I hope maybe at some point in time, the chair on the House committee and other delegates, hopefully it's even the minister, they can make themselves available. What have they discovered now? It's just the beginning. Is this something that it's a national thing and they have to choose Nima County? Why was it selected? What are some of the factors? How do they intend together? So there are a lot of unknowns still there, but we're waiting to see how it's come into play. Let me come to Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones, If you were to get a phone call this morning hour from maybe folks from the Ministry of Education, say, hey, we've been watching you. You know how you mean Donald Trump can be watching people on different shows from there. You maybe advise and say, oh, this guy going to be from those areas. If they were to ask for your counsel here, in as much as in the preparation planning stage, of course, is better late than never. What could be a first argument you're going to be putting through? And I think Kuya made a point that for the first time in the years, there's some sort of increment into the education budget. Let's see how that's going to really translate in terms of its work. What will you be putting forward to them? Let's see whether we can find solution to these problems.
Yeah, the first thing I will advise the minister that none of the participants should be in a position to politicize this retreat, as the Liberal just set the tone right now.
Yes.
This is an educational matter. It's a matter of tying it into governmental activity, people going to eat money and this and that. I think we need to de-emphasize on the money aspect now and look at the some substantive aspect of this thing.
I'm monitoring. I'm just getting off the screen for 1 second.
Yeah. And lastly, Mr. Collins just talked about the young people. I want to be very careful about the so-called five funding group in our country there. Most of them are bringing errors to us. The census that was just concluded in Liberia, the census clearly states that the young people are 37%. And our lawmaker who talk about 70%, I don't know where our lawmaker coming from with his statistics. The census clearly states that the young people in our country are 37%, is written clearly in black and white. And so we got to be very careful about the so-called five funders in our country. That's the first caveat. And the next thing is that if I were recommending to the Minister of Education, you see the student leadership should be a key component of any retreat when it comes to a retreat in Liberia about education. Why? The student leadership, the student bodies, student institutions, these are the victims of the problem the educational system continues to experience in our country. So I keep hearing a whole lot of doctor going to that place. I think I will advise the educational minister to downsize some of the recycled doctoral material on education and bring in some fresh mind who will look at education and look at it from a different perspective. These people have been talking about education from time immemorial, in forum, in so many settings. The problem of education had not been identified. So this time, I would suggest to the minister to get some fresh blood into this retreat, get the student leadership from around the country, get some of the student institutions from around the country to be part of this retreat, and let us hear from the house's own mouth, rather than we bring in experts who will be talking from their understanding, how they went to school, some of the things they were imparted with, and some of the things I would take from America to carry there. I think that would be the end result. But let's first of all identify the problem. There is no way we can have a successful educational system in Liberia if we cannot identify the problem.
Let me interrupt you here a little bit, talking about identifying the problems and now bringing the doctors and experts and so. You made a good argument of not to politicize this here. The students organizations, students institutions, they are the more political group at this point. Don't you think these folks that are meeting, don't you think they're going to take a holistic approach to take a review and come up with that communique, assuming to this communique could find a potential solution to the educational problem in Liberia? Don't you think it is the best approach? Whether they should have been done a long time, that's one thing, but why are they coming on now? That's another thing. So don't you think they are taking the approach and we'll wait and see the outcome of this?
Well, I think I will want to follow some of the lead from the liberal. We have had multiple retreats in our country. I don't know how many of us have read some of the outcome documentation or retreat in our country. There were one that was just here in Grand Bassa County. I have not read that.
More or less political, but we hear the social academicians are meeting more or less.
No, listen now. The very people, some of the very people that were in Bassa are some of the very people in the queue again. All right? So we have to make these references. This is education. Don't forget, the educational minister just had a tour of most of the counties. We have not read our report. Government, taxpayer money was put into that thing. We don't know the outcome of that identical report. The fact finding, the educational minister even went, talked around the country. Now they are going for a retreat. First of all, tell us, what did you see? What did you identify that have provoked a retreat? Then since what you saw, if it is what you saw have provoked the retreat, then this time around, we have to downsize on some of the experts and bring in most of the victims to help us look at these problems. And the victims here are the students.
Okay, let's spin the ball around. The victims.
Are you trying to say that the victims will provide more information or more
Yes.
ideas that could better the situation? Or
No, this is where I'm coming from, Mr. Dan. For instance, let's just take University of Liberia for instance. There is widespread allegation. People bulldoze their way into the school, the bar grades, people do a whole sorts of things. The students are the first people that can give you first-hand information about these things.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Assuming you carry on your statistic and you find out that yes, it's true, people are buying grades to enter the University of Liberia. All right? This form a very good chunk of this discussion at the retreat. Then the next question now is, how do we solve this problem? The process of solving the problem now will formulate into what we call educational reform. Should some teachers who are involved in this thing be caught, taken to court, and thrown behind bar? Then now we'll be on the right path to put some of these ridiculous crises about the educational system in Liberia. Like for example, I come in CEO. We don't want reform. So when we see this thing, people are raising their flare up because we don't want reform in our country. We want lip service in our country, business as usual. Let's get to the real substantive aspect of this discussion. All right, like the law school. A lady resigned from our law school there because one of the students failed, and when they sent the document, they went behind closed door and get this guy B- or B+, and he graduated. You know what you're doing to the educational system? You know what you have done to this guy? Then they resign because of that. All right? So what I'm saying here is that when we identify these problems, we are not only identifying these problems, we are putting in place a mechanism that will punish these problems or find solution to it. This is where I'm coming from, that the students are victims. They should be part of the retreat from around the country, including student institutions.
Okay, well, so that's the beauty of this network. The liberal, but before the liberal comes in here, I think it's fair to say that students, everybody being victims who initiate the victimizations of this whole thing. These are the same very experts. These are the people who are head of these institutions are doing this. So folks from Ministry of Education, other people, professional people, academicians, meeting, and all of that. I wouldn't be surprised these sort of conversation going to be taking place. Talking about the Minister of Education, not to speak for them, towards you take a tour, there's a lesson learned. And what you want to do is to bring those ones around the conference table and all of the parties that are involved directly, indirectly, and share those notes. And then finally, a communicate can be drawn out where more or less it can become a law. I don't want you to give this liberal a leg here this evening with this putting people behind bars. Now you see all along Jerry Barker Washington was not here. By the time you use that word, he sent a message to Jerry, and Jerry is here. But that is okay. They don't want these are things that they don't want to see. And he was so ridiculous that he doesn't want to be part of Joseph Boyka, whose administration. If the educational sector succeed, this is how these people are misguided. For he to come and tell her he hoped Joseph Boyka that they're not using his name. Who is the commander in chief? Who is in charge of authority in Liberia? It is absurd for the liberal to say that. Jerry Barker, good evening. Is that the liberal asked you to come on?
No,
If that was the case,
I always here. So why would he give me an invitation for me to be here? I came first. I said I was in another meeting, and the place I was at, it was not conducive because of the conversation. So I said, okay, when I get home, I will get on. So that's why I'm here. But I mean, I'll be happy for you to tell me, say, come. I will be delighted for me to give me that invitation.
Whatever, you're not even going to say, okay, let's spin the ball here. The liberals.
Thank you, Mr. So. This is very important subject matter for me to listen to your tabata here tonight and try to respond to those. I will ignore it as everything else. Look, Mr. So, when we come to these kinds of conversation, we have to be genuine. We have to be we have to be truthful to ourselves. Mr. Dan took almost 15 minutes or 20 minutes of his time to give us people who are going to be attending this retreat. Wonderful information. Now, what we don't know, the like of Fulanti Kofa going to the retreat, how many staffers is he taking? Who's feeding them? The other representatives that are going, how many staffers are they taking? Who's feeding them? Right. Okay. It's a good business for for Ganta. There's no question asked. I welcome that. But here's my problem. Flanti Kofa is not an expert on education. He's a speaker of the House of Representatives. You would think Flanti Kofa will be involved as a last result when things are not going the way they want to be or the way they're supposed to be. Let's take, for example, the chairman of education who's calling for this retreat. Have you even have a hearing at the Capitol building inviting all of these people that you have invited to be part of the retreat? And I asked a simple question.
How do you know whether there was no hearing?
Mr. So, the liberal is on the floor. I'm not here for your I call it side-by courthouse, the chief justice and things like that. Please spare me that. Okay? I'm saying if that was the case, Mr. Dunn would have been part of the conversation.
No.
Number one. Secondly, we don't know whether this person have had a hearing on this. And if you did, what was the reason? What kinds of information you got from the hearing that are not prompting you to have this retreat? The retreat is not free. They're not free pusara, they're going to eat. They're not free goat meat, they're going to eat. Government going to buy it. Mr. So the liberal is on the floor.
Okay.
No, look,
Mr. So,
listen. You ate the way you ate a free goat meat.
Mr. So, will you please take me out of this conversation? It has nothing to do with me.
Here. What?
It has nothing to do with me. Don't bring about me eating goat and whatever. That's none of your business, first of all. I'm just saying. So the people that are going there in Banga, it's not free. First thing they need to tell her how much this retreat going to cost. Look at the kind of question Terry was asking. legitimate question, concern. And so because of all of that question, I decided to preempt, to go beyond that.
So
Say, Mr. So, will you please let me land?
no, I'm not
Please.
gonna. I'm not. Yes, you run away your tabata, and that's not what I
Mr.
offer.
So,
you.
let me land my statement.
And,
What I
and,
tell my
and,
own. What I
and
tell that you will tell your own. What I
Okay,
tell
you have
that my
to.
own. Let me
You
finish
have
my
to.
statement.
You have because you are
Mr. So
misinformed.
why are you
You are
interrupting? You see, this is what I say that you are on undercover sedition, and this is what you do when we try to hit you guys, and then you come in and try to interrupt the liberal. When my liberal view is hurting you,
You
let
are
me
so
make my
badly
statement.
misinformed.
Let
Okay,
me make
30
my
seconds.
statement. You're taking
30
time away
seconds. Go
from the
ahead.
liberal.
Learn
You are
your.
taking time away from me, Mr. So.
Go
So
ahead,
let me.
or else I'm gonna be calling people. I don't have no
Okay,
time to
okay,
wait here.
whatever you do. Let me finish my statement. So the point here is this. Terry, on the other hand, he's being intellectual. And he's saying how much. I jump over that how much mistake. I said these people that crook, they're going over there because they want to eat money. I jump over how much it costs and all that kind of stuff. If they're really serious about these kinds of things, on a very serious note, Mr. So, first of all, you have a hearing and find out what the problem
It
is.
was held. That's what I'm saying, and you're not
Mr.
listening
Okay.
because
What
you.
was the result? What was the result?
What was the result?
What was the result of the
The
hearing?
result was intergovernmental and different agencies.
Yeah.
That's why they are coming up with this, and you don't know, and you just jumping and running and talking
Mr.
and talking.
So,
It's not because you are not
don't
aware that
come
what
play
wasn't
now
here.
your fly by night lawyer thing, take it somewhere else. Not on LPR. You are a host. You're not a lawyer for anybody. I say they're there to eat money. That's what I say. Then you come here to come be lawyer for
okay,
them.
So let me ask. Hold on one second. How much?
something.
Joseph Boyka and his delegation in China? How much are they paying?
They're bringing in money.
How
The
much?
old man is
No,
bringing
I want to
tons.
know the cost. How much? How much do we need to know? How much they pay the
The old man is bringing tons.
The old man bringing what?
Tons of money. Tons.
Stop being ridiculous. Stop being
I'm not being
ridiculous.
ridiculous. The Singapore. I mean, I call Malaysia. The president of Malaysia made a statement, public declaration that we will support your agenda because the people trust him.
Okay,
Because the
let
people
me
know
go
he
to.
mean well.
Yeah, we are in
You're not a
conversation. Let me
football
go to the
player.
next. I'm just
Okay, okay,
telling
okay.
you. 1 second,
Mi-
Mike. Just
Mr. So,
1 minute.
th-
I'm just telling you, if you are not aware, I'm just telling you, we don't just jump in this stuff. And I
Mr.
know
So,
for those
speak
of
for
you,
yourself.
yeah, but
Don't tell
listen,
me why I need to say it, why I don't need to say it.
that's not what I'm saying. I say if you are not aware,
I am
I want to
aware.
let you.
I am
You're not
aware.
aware.
Thank you for
Because
the
you're
information,
aware,
but I
you
don't
won't say
agree
that
with
was
it. Thank you for the information, but that's a
I'm
propaganda.
telling you, oh man, there was a
No,
hearing.
you see that now? You see that now? How you look at 45-year-old and call him old man? You see that now? You're not serious?
No,
You're not
we're
taking it
having
too
a
serious.
serious conversation. This is not time to something. These are people, who people say your government, these are things you're supposed to keep critical eyes and to talk on it, but you're not even talking about it. You're not saying anything.
I
And we
just told you
issue.
critically. I said the people
So
went over there to eat money.
you
You
think
don't want to disagree with me. I said they went over there to eat money. You think the food they're gonna eat that free? You think the place they're gonna sleep that free? Why you
so?
bringing Kofa? Why are they bringing Speaker Kofa into the retreat? To do what? To do what?
This is so sad. Let me go to Mike. Come in with your point now. Then I'll go.
okay. Thank you very much, Mr. So, our moderator. We want to say thank you so much. I think this retreat uh, came as a result of some assessment that have been done so far, especially the House of Representatives taking into consideration that the need for dialoguing among education stakeholders is very important. This is what the retreat is meant for. Samson, let's forget about the dollar and cents, and then the benefit. Let not the cost. Yes, it might be, it might sound maybe 4,000, 5,000, even 10,000, 15,000, or even 50,000. But let's look at the benefit of discussing the issue of education, the issue of how Liberia can have textbooks that children can have, or specialized textbooks written by Liberians. This is a cost. This is a benefit. The benefit is more than the cost. and comparatively, in
Let me
comparison
ask you,
to
what are you sleeping in the street tonight? How you got there?
all
Mike,
right,
Mike, let me ask you this.
comparison,
I understand, Mike. Excuse me 1 minute. I understand your
go
position,
ahead,
which
go
is
ahead.
legitimate. Your point. In fact, you got me convinced now that I would stop calling them crook. I would take
Yeah,
your word for it because you're the legitimate person. You
yeah.
always bring up issues that affect all of us. So I would take your word for it. But explain to me, somebody
Yes.
gonna be writing book or whatever it is for the Liberian students. What
Mhm.
Kufa got to do it?
He's the head of the legislature, so of course he has
Okay.
to be
What
So
does
so
on
you're
okay?
every
saying that
event
they're gonna pass a
that concern the
law?
legislature.
They're gonna pass a law requiring Liberian to write book? Is that what Kufa there for?
The
Look,
committee that is on the host committee on education,
Right.
spearheading this whole retreat in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. So it's very
Okay.
important that he be here because he's the head, the vice
Okay.
president for the matter of fact will be opening this event.
Okay. All right. Okay.
this is
I'll
sad.
take your word. I'll take your word for. I will
These are
take your word for
people.
it, Mike. Mike, I will take your word for it.
Let me bring in Joe
Not,
back
not,
on.
not, I will take your word for
And
it. Thank you.
Alfonso, I just wanted to learn comparatively when Samson talk about the current event, the event that took place in Bali with the president. There are some countries who got some financial incentives, unlike our country that got a commitment with a communique that was signed. But we there were countries that got some financial benefit. Again, they are going to Beijing. We're going to see again whether there will be a financial incentive or there will be again another communique or a commitment. Commitment, as you see, paper commitment sometimes is not always the case.
Well, look,
Financial,
well, look what you
yeah.
got. Look what you got. The man is people are trying to for us to get money, and then you got people that are cutting on us, and then the commitment is good because our people are corrupt. Our people are corrupt, and you don't want people to just start throwing money at it. They make commitment and let those people, I believe, let those people that are corrupt understand that the president, the father of the nation, have gone out to sell the
Yes.
agenda.
So let
And
me ask
people
you
believe
this.
in the agenda. You took my time yesterday. You kicked me out of my show yesterday. You took the hijacked the show
No,
yesterday.
no,
So
you.
I didn't have the
That's not
opportunity
what
to
you're gonna
speak.
bring here
So
tonight.
let me
Something.
speak
There
my
are other
mind
people.
tonight.
Let me tell you
Let
now.
me
There
speak
are
my
other people
mind
you're
tonight.
supposed to talk.
Please let me
You're
speak
not
my mind.
speaking. You've
Let me
been
speak my
talking
mind.
here. No, 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 no. We're not roller skating here. You have spoken a lot. There are other people here supposed to speak. You fanatical father, your friend, he's a speaker. When lie you told him to even to put aside that now you want to come something, don't even go there with us. We are having this call your president Joseph Boyka and all of those people that tell him you need to tell us the money that we haven't seen. We have not seen yet one communicate. I can tell you what Nigeria has already benefited telling you one bring basket of money. You're a complete disgrace. Let me bring in Jared Washington. Mr. Washington.
His name is not Bashan. The man is
That none of your
Honorable
business. He
Barkham.
speaks
No,
for
no, no.
himself.
No, you can't call him Bashan. His name is Jerry Barkham. Please. Go ahead, Jerry. He stole our show yesterday. So please, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. You see, good message, wrong messenger. Simple. Man, that the speaker is going to the program. Good program. I think, when was it, Monday or Sunday, we'll talk about a program what the Minister of Education, the Ministry of Education want to do, that coordinator, the DEO, the CEO, all these people, they will be facilitated with telephone or with cell phone that will be collecting database, studying the program where the children, some of them, so these are the things the education is coming away to be make sure that these are reaching the very rural area.
You guess so.
However, however, having said that, if we forget, it's a motive behind these people, our legislators and senators and then. But here we are. they are to Lima County. Great. It's an economic benefit to the country, even though the leases are beneficial of the program that are going to help the retreat. But the motive of the retreat, the representative committee, let me ask you to bring it out. When they had that retreat in Buchanan, hmm? How many the senator and representative and senator received when the senator didn't have their retreat the last time? Millions of dollars for the
I think that Joseph Walker asking to go off.
Oh, okay. He's gone off the line. So
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. I know
like
it's kind of late.
I was saying, so I think this came about after some consultation, some level of study that have been done so that the education sector can be improved. Because, for example, the private school teachers, the private school principal association will be also here. Dr. Benjamin Wai, a young man who is so passionate about the education sector improvement, he will also be here. So it's not just about government officials coming together, but it's all stakeholders that are very much concerned about the education sector will also be or are also arriving to this morning. So uh, it's a dialogue and several issues will be discussed. Issues that are very pertinent to the forward movement of the education sector. So I mean, let's not look at the cost. Something if you look at the cost, you won't the benefit more than the cost. So that's what I can say.
Dr. Jones?
Yeah, I just want to say that the initiative is very good, but I think there are a lot of gaps so far. And strongly, I believe that the issue of funding, I think that should be the last thing I think I should be discussing on this platform. I'm looking at the substance of this thing, what is
Exactly.
going to give birth to, you know. And as I said from the beginning, the educational minister went on a fight finding the last time, and it's about time that we use the fact finding to launch what I will call a monkey survey that will come up with data on problems that have been identified within the educational system. The data will then be used to lead us into a discussion to identify the type of reform we need in our educational system. You see, because there are two things right now Liberia is confronted with: education and quality education. We have not even reached to the quality education aspect yet, you see. So can this conference, which has continued to say is a good thing, can it focus on identifying how many students are dropped out every year in our country? How many students, kids that don't have the means to even go to school every year in our country? How many schools that don't even have benches for kids to sit on in the leeward counties? Can we identify those problems? Can we identify teacher training issues? People going to be retrained, sending people abroad to improve their skills, because this is how we can improve the educational system, you see. So I'm disappointed the education minister took many days combing our country. All right, I've been looking for her findings, and actually I have not seen it. Our partner have been doing well to already put money into the educational system in Liberia, you see. But I have not seen what I would call tangible yet. I have not seen it. So if this conference will produce the tangible, but then the question now is, we cannot come up with tangible when we have not identified the problem.
So yeah, it is, and this is these national conversations. We can't close the door when we are having these conversation. Indeed, there was a result after the minister took a tour, and that result resulted to the assessment and calling on such a conference. All we are waiting now to see it, what could be the final I communicate. I want to see some good things happening in the country. And they are stressing the need, for example, to have these, just what you're making, qualified teachers. They have come to realize over 5,000 teachers, perhaps in the system, some of whom are not qualified, and how retraining process, how they can be incorporated, and what tangible can be done now on a short-term basis. So we are waiting to see these professionals, people from different backgrounds, to assemble what they could come up to. But the issue of having what are the minister, yes, there was a founding, that part foundings, and that part of what resulted to the understanding. We're talking to educational officers, different people from county, to say, okay, let's meet this time. I've taken a tour, but let's meet this time under the roof. But what I agree with, the substance part of it, with the meeting, what would be the final drone our communicate that would come out? How will it be done? How will it be successful? I'm surprised for liberal. Why you want to do that without no money being spent? Your friend Yombi Kanga went there, didn't care, no press conference. Daryl didn't turn to cameraman. Those are things, those should be your concern. Why you asking why financial for this is a national cause. And he's a speaker of the House of Representatives who approves budget, who are arguing about broad budget. Are you ignorant of that? And you want to tell us why Fanati Kofa going there, why the vice president going there? Those are policy and decision maker. They need to know what is happening so that when they are arguing tomorrow, they will not be arguing in isolation. It is sad for those of you who say you support the agenda of this administration and you are unable to, you're blindfolded, you're look one side, and when anything good comes in the country, you just do not know how to articulate it. And that's exactly what you and your guy is doing here tonight. But yet you want a vibrant society. It's like engineering association people meeting and you tell them where they're going to meet, they're going to eat money. How much you pay for your fees? So you think they're going to go there? They're not going to eat. They're going to sleep outside. That's the least thing. I'm coming 1 second. Let's be sensitive in 1 second. Let be sensitive in the head.
Let Mali speak. Let Mali speak. Don't come and try to somehow throw Mali under the bus here tonight. Let Mali speak. Mali has an opinion. Mali, go ahead, please.
No, CEO, continue.
Oh.
No, on a serious note, these are like, we don't want to waste our time to our correspondent and to leave Morovia because we want to see. We don't want to quote other people. We want to see. You should be running with this sort of bandwagon for you to come and sit down here. Oh, the people going to eat money. Where Fanati Kofa going to do that? Really? I question your support. I think Terry need to come in here a little bit.
Yeah, before Terry comes in,
but like I said, yeah,
I will call your attention to a few things. Mm-hmm. And the few things I wanted to call, I wanted to ask Mr. Dan, who is calling the shot here for the retreat? Is it the House or the Education Ministry?
So the House, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, is calling this particular retreat. There was a meeting that among education stakeholders, including international partners, the UNICEF and other educational stakeholder, that there should be such an event to enable a discussion that will lead towards having a secretariat that will be improving the education sector, a secretariat that will spearhead activities strategically consistent with the education goal of Liberia. So this is why they retreat. They are, apart from those stakeholders that are named, there are other international partners that will be coming to form part of this particular event. So people from all walks of the education sectors are expected to be here. So yes, something is costed. This is why, for example, LPR spent a huge amount for just to
We
get
have
us
no
here
idea. That's
to
why
think
we're
about
telling you we have
this.
no
Imagine
idea.
we are
That's
in
what
a hotel talking to you now, and so and to show some level of seriousness of it, this is why we are here.
you
No,
want to
So
come here.
but Mr. Dan, if you're telling me one
yeah,
of the focuses is to come up with a secretariat, this is completely counterproductive. I'm telling you. But
So,
anyway, we'll go into the
Jones,
things a little
yeah,
more.
I don't think our job is to discuss this thing. We must wait. Let a conference, let a
So,
seminar
so,
or
so,
convention
so,
process kick
Mr.
off.
So,
I'm
Mr.
coming, please.
So,
I am talking, please. Do not interrupt me. I am saying, let's wait. And this is why we never wanted to circumspect the outcome of this meeting. This is why our man, the team is there. They're going to be attending those conferences. They'll be accredited. They're going to be doing live reporting. Then we can make an informed decision. But not people, these by four guest people, the liberal type, they're here to come, they weren't going to do this. No, that's not,
Mike,
that's not a no.
I want to thank you very much. The board approve of your visit, and the
The
board
guy,
approve of you
we
doing
have,
what you're doing.
we
We
have
really
no
appreciate it.
idea that the man is in the
What you mean? I
board.
had no
Look
idea.
at some of
How you do
this
something
is
the board
another
don't know
type of
about it.
LTA board then that we have there's some of them here.
Whatever. Mike, thank you
CEO,
very much. But as usual, one of the things I also know on a
CEO,
very
I think
serious note,
this
one of
is
the
this
things
is this
on a,
is a
hold
star
on 1 minute,
example.
Dr. Mallett,
Move
please.
forward.
Dr. Mallett, 1 minute, please. Mike, let me just say this here on a very serious note in this public gathering. I think your maturity level that I'm seeing, especially tonight, in the face, in the way you speak, and everything else is very encouraging. I want to thank you for that. I think you have grown a lot.
thank you.
It's good to know that. Thank you.
You think that baby?
So and finally from my end, again this was as a result of an assessment done in districts across education districts across this country that identified several issues within the education sector. So this did not just the Ministry of Education, also education stakeholders, the House Committee on Education did not just conclude on this overnight. There was a meeting here at the Capitol building involving stakeholders again to discuss the education sector in respect of improving district education officer, improving those within the education sector, within the level of education teachers. As you know, we have over 5,000 volunteer teachers, 5,000 volunteer teachers that are now on the payroll. Over 5,000, let me say. So these are issues that are confronting the education sector, and there's a need that it be discussed. So we're hoping that some of these issues will be discussed at the forum that will be taking place on tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow and the after here in Ganta. So hopefully it's going to be very good, and we're going to be covering it, ensuring that the public can get the best of it. And thanks to the team also in the states and Mr. So and the board, something I want to say thank you for your level of support as well,
Oh man, thank you.
ensuring that we get here. Thank you so much.
Thank God. And my son not even giving you chance to talk. That only like this sort of Donald Trump style for them to praise him. We're not hearing nothing from you, my friend. You're on your own.
Jesus.
But,
Yeah, man, I got myself muted and I'm talking. The board is trying to express the gratitude to this young man. And then see, those are the kind of leadership we got. Those are the kinds of people President Baka is trying to educate to make sure that when you are a leader, you support the leadership agenda. And the
Brother,
board come up with something, then they're trying to cut the board agenda.
you need to get
Unacceptable.
serious, man. Seriously. I mean, your behavior now is getting out of hand. You need to get serious. Okay,
the
Mr.
person
Kepler.
who stood here and told everybody, including the panelists, that you were going to go to Philadelphia to beat the board chair. That one that your behavior is not ridiculous. Eh?
If you need to be flogged, you get that's but
See?
somebody they are
See
flogging
there?
that some of the flogging thing you're doing.
See
And you
there?
said that are flogged no matter what before the year
See
comes to
there?
an
Now
end.
you myself, I will not even come to Rhode Island. Where you see me at?
I will kind of supplemental that in your own
Okay.
state. Okay, look, guys, on a serious note, Captain, good evening. Look,
Good evening.
Mr. Collins, let me just bring you. You've been listening. Uh, and I've said it here. The work of the media, we're not a resistance, we are not against. But where we see light, we must shine it. And we've been following this thing here. Of course, series of conversation. But the reason some of these things are not coming to light because these politicians who are just after the thing, those critical indicators that will make our society vibrant. Guess what? This whole politics thing just overshadow it. So the news light is not picking up these things. And some of us know how these people have been working, like he said, over 5,000 volunteers. It's almost equivalent to the number of people that are recruited are in the police services and other people and say, oh, because they not get this, they put it in that. And
Right.
you just rightfully said that, though it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the survival of the country. So when people take a tour, when they go all around and sit down and talk and say, okay, this is what we have gathered. Let's go, all of us, all stakeholders, actors, different interest groups, international organizations, speak up because guess what? This is where the budgets come from. These are people who pay themselves more than even the ordinary civil servant. Isn't that important that these people, the vice president, and you have your patron to labor telling us what fanatic Kofa or what it means the vice president going to do there? People who going to determine the fate of the budget tomorrow, they need to witness in real time what's going to be happening. Let me just bring you in.
Yeah, Mr. So, thank you very much. And also thank you to Mark. Mark, we're doing a pretty good job. I think it's about time that we all decide to chip in to help the process. I think that is a good thing. We need to be having some meeting outside of the LPR show that we will be able to make some contribution to the journalists then that are struggling and trying to make the station work. It's very, very essential. And also that is what. But one of the things to the issue, Mr. So, actually, we are not against the progress of what is trying to be done here. But what we're looking at is how many times they have been done and there have been no result.
They retreat.
Yeah. Will this yield the result that we are anticipating, looking at the society we're from? The reason why I even brought about the money aspect is this money that is going to take care of the retreat coming from organizations like international organizations outside of the process, or is it part of the budget giving to the Ministry of Education? Because as we know, the Ministry of Education receives 16% of the national budget this year. So with that money now that is going to have the retreat be coming from that 16% that we're giving to them, even though it's not even much to cover everything. But even if it's going to be coming from there, based upon what will be discussed and achieved, if it will be successful enough that Fonati will go back to the hall and say, hey, buddies, I think we need to step this budget up to at least 20% or 25% based upon all of the data that we have collected from the retreat, which is a very, very good thing. All right. That is what I will be looking up for. Like you said, Redley, this meeting we must give it a chance, be patient, and wait to see the result. But to make correction on Mr. Mali's point, he tried to attack me on the issue of the fast checker stuff. Fast checker is not, by the way, fast checker is not part of OKFM. It's just another organization connecting with the news network. And they are very good. They give you a data analysis of how to even go to do your own fact finding on the information. And that information you provided, I don't know where it comes from. I don't want to say it's a Tabata information. But according to the information from UNFPA, it says that the age structure of the population of Liberia is young. 63% is less than 25 years old, and 32.8% is 10 to 24 years old. So if you add that and take and deduct the ages from 10 to 24, you will likely come down to 70%. So that is why the people telling you. So I don't know how you derive the 30-something% or so, but you need to go back to
I said the census of Liberia. They
yeah,
just
but
ended census. Go
I
there.
don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that
No,
that
I said go there. Go to the census. I got in my
and
file from the census
all of
that
that.
was just concluded.
What I'm reading here is an international, credible institution giving us
Wow.
data analysis on our youth population. Liberia have a very youthful population that needs to be educated, and I think this whole process, if it work up, Mr. Soul, the educational stuff, if it do work up, it will be very essential for our youth because we got a growing youth population that is on drugs, that are doing many things that they need to look into all
That's
those
why,
things.
that's why the whole society is like this, because they have polluted the minds of these people. Let's see here, Mr. Keto, before we go to Mr. Bako.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Brother Soin. I would like to say hi to my esteemed colleagues on this program, and also Mr. Dan, who just left for a great job in Liberia, covering several areas in the country I've been following into. Look, education is a very serious thing in our country. We see what the lack of education has done to our country. And, you know, the people say if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And we saw what ignorance did in the absence of education. So we cannot downplay this because it's something that will change the narrative of our suffering, of our deplorable condition. I'm very interested in this. And unfortunately, one of the educators on this show, my own brother, Sise Goyat, is not on this platform tonight to even give his input. But it's important. With all of what have been said concerning the people, I mean the coming up program, um, I'm not really interested in the personalities that are going to be there. What I'm interested in is the result, like Terry said, what it's going to yield, what impact is going to make, um, into our education system. What are some of those things that they are going to put in place to transform the educational system in Liberia that will have a trickle down effect on and grassroots and stuff like that. So for so long we have been having series of conferences, series of retreats. People have been taking a lot of statistic on different aspects, and just to get this thing right. I think at this point we need a real hands-on approach. We got to be very sincere. We have to be deliberate. I think, and these are things that will make this whole sector work. You know, few years back, when I listened to, I think it was on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, that I think 2,500 students took entrance at the University of Liberia. Everybody failed. They had just come from high school and everybody failed the entrance. And I'm sitting thinking, and so something came to my mind. Years back, there was this program in Israel that the Jews they were going away from the language, the Hebrew language. They were far because people had come from far away, scatter. So what it did was to bring the Hebrew language back to make it solid and national language in Israel, was not to start from the top. So they started from kids like 2 years old, 3 years old into kindergarten, make them to start to speak, to learn how to read and write Jews, the Jews, until by 20 years you got a new population of people speaking the language and it spread out to the national language. My approach to education in Liberia is not to start from the top. It's to start from the very bottom, like toddlers and kids, as far as kindergarten, what you call the nursery, to give our children solid foundation. Yeah, writing our own textbook is good, but we need people with expertise to start from the grassroots, from our kids now, so we can plan 20, 25 years. The generation that will come will be better than the generation today when it comes to education. So our education can be par with our neighbors and on an international standard. I think if we look at that from the holistic point, it will make, I think it will have some impact in our society, because we're in the middle of everything. People coming out of high school cannot even write a fitting line. People coming out of university cannot articulate it. Even the discipline they went in, they are not even really abreast about it. They just go through and rush them out. So what we can do now is to sit down for stakeholders to decide how to spend the money, where to spend the money, the target group, and how to uplift our education system, that in the next 20 to 25 years, it will start yielding great results for our nation.
Okay, this is how the independent speaks. You're the independent, then Wharton Keto. Let me come to Mr. Bacon. Mr. Bacon?
Thank you. It's an interesting subject tonight. One of the things I listened to all the panelists here, one of the issues that we have in Liberia and is our private school sector. Most of our private school sector, I hope this meeting will put a lot of emphasis into our private school sector, because most of our private school now, and I'm talking about previous administration or 20 or 30 years back, but today, if you go to Liberia, behind somebody's house, there's a private school there. And these are the people who are creating the problem. I don't have the statistic before me, but everywhere you go now, the government school, yeah, doing a little bit, but the private school, everybody's sending their children to private school because the government school is completed. It's a mess. So they hope that they're sending the children to private school, at least to get a quality education. Tomorrow we are on the platform tonight or today because of our foundation that we have from a secondary school to be auto college level and things like that. But today, I hope my emphasis will be on the private sector, that there will be strong regulation as we're going to go through the government structure, that our government school will be well bound in the counties and these districts and things. The same emphasis should go across the spectrum with the private school. But the private school, it is more than the government school in our country.
Okay, so let me just unleash right away, because the liberal will not have the guts to say that. Now the ball is in your court. You see, this is where you can put your own foot in your mouth and you say other people put their foot in your mouth. The ball is in your court, is in the court of the liberal. You are the chauffeur of this train. Now the challenge, you are within the proximity of this administration. It is the challenge now to communicate this effectively. Government needs, and I agree with you, government needs to address this thing. But remember, there's also a fine line. The private sector is what makes the country vibrant. But these regulations, they has all sides. They must be enforced. It is the government. The people, the lawmaker are the all, if I say lawmaker, those people who in authority who supposed to enforce the law, they end up being the violators of the law. That's some of the thing. We saw like the past time, Minister of Education, you have your own thing. You can't even, you're doing your own thing. How can you regulate other people? So I think this forum here, and we are just hoping it should be able to, if not 100%, but these critical indicators that are hampering the educational sector within our country. Can you imagine have 5,000 teachers, volunteers, and who eating? Volunteering is here, and they're not taking pay. People get family, they're going home more, and they get wives. Then this is where the buying grades and all of that comes in, because
Thank you. That's what I about to come to.
Okay, yeah. So now these are things that need to be addressed. Government, the qualified one, and I saw some of the communicate. They people with masters and people with different something. They must be taken care of. If the people are taken care of, and who's supposed to take care of them, it's the responsibility of the government. But we have our lawmakers, we have people who paying themselves exorbitantly at the expense of the people. And you have professionals, academicians, who are mentoring, who are nurturing, who are building to nations, engineers, and what? They're not taking pay. But they're flying all over the places all over. And then you say you want a vibrant society. That is just not possible. So we hope, and like I agree with everybody, it will not be like one of those flamboyant Framinton hotel thing and just go on jolly time. But we are hoping that there will be a real farmer communicate, and when that communique is issued, it should be also be followed to the letter. The liberal, now you have recollected yourself. You came to yourself now. I think you were in different world. We're thinking how your total village, my village, these educational challenges will be addressed. So and Keto said it's right. You spend how many money? What's the money? What's the loan for being an engineer? You think that was kado? That was free? Eh?
I think he made it.
No, I'm not muted. You think the man myself come to a car exchange it? I beg you.
Right now he's guilty.
Guilty for what?
That's why you can't say anything. There should
But
be.
Mr. CEO, let me make one point here. I'll soon be leaving because
You're having a bad night. You won't go. You and him going together?
no. But look, I got a lot of things on my plate.
Where are
To
you?
be honest.
Where are you?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. What you just said is one of the points that we are facing in our country. You got 5,000 volunteer. How, where, when, whom they go to work, how to feed their family. That teaches who is volunteering in that school, how you feed her family. And these are some of the things that bring child abuse, teacher abuse, all the senior pregnancy in the school. All these things have to take into consideration. I hope as a meeting today or tomorrow, wherever time they are meeting, these things then will be addressed. It's not just supported under the bridge. Well, we went to what the planning, Ganta, and we had a retreat, and we come home. There's no follow-up. There's no readdress or to do reassessment. One of the things I noticed in Liberia, we have all the meetings, and then we cannot readdress. Let's go do assessment. We don't do assessment after the meeting. Nobody go back and do a follow-up. No address, no readdress. I hope at this time we will have a force on education is important. That's the only way we'll be competitive around the world.
Oh, okay.
Well, education is important.
What I say?
That's the only way. Why you say, why?
Yes. So this core is around your neck, and this is why I don't want to be.
Okay, put it around my neck. Okay, that's fine. Put it around my neck.
I will put it around your neck. I will put it around you and something to neck because everything that comes to your feet, you guys are the rightful owner of this president of this country, and that's not the case. So I have no interest about talking about family to where Sonny and other people.
I'm not talking about. I'm not going to address what the name of somebody to where they did. Okay, what is it? Okay, put the call. Why the call is on our neck?
Let me just finish it. Yeah, I put it around your neck because you are the umbrella. You are the front bearer of this administration. So this sort of conversation, it should touch your heart and soul and relay them. Saying you're the one get their phone number. We don't have their phone number. Terry don't have it. Dr. Mane don't have it. You not have it. That your man now go on ERBC. This is the kind of thing we want him when you go on ERBC, the state radio, to stock it. Go. And that anybody do anything there, the president, Dr. Boyka, we shouldn't be doing investigation without no imprisonment. People need to go to jail. If they did something wrong, you send them to court, they go to jail. I have no interest in investigation over investigation. Oh, yeah, investigated. The person said, oh,
Mr. So.
Jerry,
thank you very much,
Mr. So, there's something they call due process. We're not just going to. You would be the same person if we say we train everybody to South Beach, or we send them to Grand Julia or Correction Center. You'll be the same person on the show, or Boyka administration. They're incarcerating people. There's no due process. In the law, we have due process.
When I get to let them go to jail, that's it.
Mr. So.
Mr. Want to build more prison compound.
Mr. So, let me say this here to you. Jerry, thank you very much. Mr. So, let me say this here to you. We fought hard on this platform to talk good about this government. We were not here to run campaign because, well, like we always explain to you, we don't know these people. They
We
don't
run
know us.
campaign. You see,
Mr.
that's
So, will you
talking. Don't say
please
that.
let me speak? I'm tired talking. Let me just finish so
Oh,
I can go
you're
and lay down.
tired.
But anyhow, the point here is this: we fought hard for this government because we believe in this government. We believe in the policy of Dr. Good Makai, President of the Republic of Liberia. And the fact that he continued to show us a blueprint that he want to operate this government on is something that we take highly on, and so we appreciate this. Now, Mr. So, I'm a liberal. I will have to be critical, even if it is my own government. I will be critical.
Oh,
I'm not
please.
just going to let people, because these people they have track records. Many of these government officials, many of these PhD that was named here tonight, they have been all over. They like Dr. Mali said, they've been there before. They have track record, and we are aware of some of their track record. So we're not just going to see something and say, okay, yeah, yeah, then we start dancing. We must question, and we must also be skeptical. Because as a member of a society, if you are not skeptical of anything, that's how you come ended up with Donald Trump. And we don't want Donald Trump in Liberia. So the president is there to guide us. At the same time, the president wants us to be skeptical. We must do the skepticism based on respect and responsibility. And Mr. So, the liberal have exhibited that over and over and over. I am responsible, I am respectful, but I'm not afraid. Because why? Your ain't fame more. My ain't fame you more. I'm cool. They can't do nothing to me. I don't want anything from them. But I will be truthful. And if the president, like he went to Indonesia, and the president of Indonesia saying commitment, I don't care what it say, that yes, indeed, we will support your agenda, then that means the man has done his work. And we will be proud to announce that publicly. Good night, Mr. Alfonso
So,
Zionso. Good
listen.
night, Mr. Alfonso Zionso. I need not to say any more on this platform because you have hijacked the wonderful LPR platform. You will not let people talk, express themselves freely unless they have some kind of a hidden agenda that will support your conservative view, far right view. And we're not about ready to do that. Good night, folks.
It's
Samson To, Labra Pablito. Tonight, tomorrow night, join me on the most liberal show where your view will be accepted, and we will not do the Chinese phone as long your views are towards the liberal view. You will have, when you come in
Oh,
with a conservative view, we will play the Chinese phone on you. Good night, Mr. Soul.
wow.
Mr. To, Mr. To, don't go. I want you to give us some information here, concerning this program. They call it Liberia Educational Advancement Program. They call it LEAP, and it's a multi-partnership educational model that delivers 100% tuition-free primary education throughout Liberia for early childhood education through ninth grade. And they have list of things that this program is supposed to, affect in our country. How LEAP was funded to help address Liberia decimated primary education system, the program
For you to
innovation.
support a program, then my skepticism have gone, it got to go above the roof. For
So,
you, Walter Carter, the terrorism sedition, to come and support a program
You see
that
what of
we
it?
that we say is gonna be, then I think my skepticism have to go above the
so,
roof.
so, so this program was a model um during the President Weah administration. Not to
Uh,
give it, who give me
there we
just give
go.
me a chance now. Just not to give him the credit, but it was something that was modeled. And what I like about the program, because way before President Weah, I was talking about it during Eddie Johnson at his time. And to my surprise, I was just Google searching and I stumbled upon it. And the program, the innovation focus on ambitious goal, how its multiple partner model works to prove benefits of the program, or scalability, the critical importance of monitoring and evaluating in
Okay.
leap. Now, so these are things, right? What people want to do in the first 5 years, after they implement these programs, they talk about leap. to see the productivity of this program. And they're starting from a very early stage, from how they call it, preschool up to 9th grade. And these are things that I think at this summit or workshop where they're going to put in place the mechanism. I agree to write our own books is good, but to train our teacher, bring back the KRTTR, and bring back all this stuff, enforce them, empower them, get strong teacher, bring the voluntary 5,000 teacher and put them on the payroll, empower them, train them well so they can train our young people. So in the next 25 years, we'll have people that we can boast of if we stay around to say yes.
5,000 teachers from Nigeria.
The ones that already, and they say they got 5,000 voluntary teachers. Mr. Mr. To, why are you so antagonistic when it comes to the independent? Are you afraid? Because when we're talking serious things here concerning our education, now you
independent or Keto, you independent.
Say that again.
You say you're independent.
You don't know on the show I'm independent. Yeah, you hearing it?
No.
Are you kidding?
Dr. Martin, you agree that Mr. Keto is.
Are you kidding? Look, Terry, don't even go.
Dr. Martin,
told you on the show, I didn't miss my
words.
Listen. Don't be ridiculous.
Collins, I think we need to come to the rescue of Mr. Wilton. And we cannot allow people coming to undermine him tonight because he has
It's a terrorizing sedition. It's a terrorizing sedition.
The liberal, you are interrupting, please.
So, Mr. Wilton, Carter, rest assured that you will be protected as long as you remain in line.
You see?
And thank you.
Dr. Jones, Carter,
the co-host is no different.
You prove your patriotism.
They're putting you in line, terrorizing sedition. They say as long as you are in line. Which line? I don't know, but they want to make sure you're in line.
Pape, we are about to close, please. Kato has shown himself as a patriot. That's part of his support to the boycott. But he comes out to say, hey, this program is a viable one. This is something that is good for the country. And sadly, the liberal, why you are telling us here literally tonight, this is the initiative of the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the House. Who appoints the Minister of Education? It's your president. You are literally telling us this minister is doing her own thing and the president is not aware. Can you imagine? What sort of support is that?
Who told you that? Who told you that?
Yeah, what you said. Go back to your point.
I still yell.
The liberal say, if I don't heal the empire, then I'm not saying nothing.
Don't put words in my mouth. That's why Emma Joy would say, don't put words in my mouth. I still here.
No, but CEO, I think we need to inform the liberals and his collaborator that we stand by Wilton Kelter, that LEAP have been going through their website, and we agree with him that it started under His Excellency President Weah. We stand by that principle, and we want to give the credit to President Weah, and we are challenging the rescue government to buttress this group to help the educational ministry. It will making new utterances, and people want to classify our undercut sedition. No, we are just being practically and pragmatically objective.
That's why objectivity is who we are.
I thought subjective was your middle name. I forgot all about that.
Okay, guys. Look, for us, this is how the independence operates. When we see something good coming for the country, we are not that much apprehensive. We give them the breathing space to see until they can kick the can down the road. And this is one of the reasons we all make sure that we get our team there, because we do not want to. Terry, I told you, but you don't listen to me. You kept hanging with this liberal here for some reason. I'm not sure. You got to keep yourself, you got to distance yourself. This guy is own president minister. He disagree with it. So you think they're just doing it without the president acquiescence? What kind of man is this? This is what he did to Liberty Party, for which he's displayed, and he hanky on Joseph Boyka code now. But they're not going to. Sooner or later, they were soon kicking from EFBC. Okay, guys.
Part of her job calls for her to have these kind of retreats, and she said she was going to do it. When she was called the last time to the House of Senate, she said the information, the education minister.
There's a complete report. It just like I said, it is saddening that I know lack of resources. You see that BB network, they have correspondence for different area of expertise. The report, but all our thing is just capital building, executive mansion. Most cars will be guilty, not guilty. The police do this. How many? That's it. But people should have correspondence of very places to do those sort of reports. I wish we reach that level. But this conversation we have drawn now, it has drawn into one or two things as a result. Some of the things are happening in other agencies or sectors of government. We don't get those information.
Mr. So the Liberian society is political. Everything is done on political basis. That is just
wait. Fatu says you won't call?
Yes.
Let me put it all quick. Let me hear. Let me call the number here: 682-433-8802. Me, I don't have no Chinese phone. Call. Let me make sure here. They phone. I will hold it up here tonight.
No, but if you try to play the Chinese game here, we'll give her the phone number that you will use.
Yeah, Papi, I don't know what else to do. I swear to God. Wait, let me make sure.
Fatima,
I would love you to come on this platform here so we can have this conversation. That would be good. That would be very crime massive, very Mongiri.
They will more call, they beautiful more call tonight, and your phone act like Chinese phone on this network. I will turn my phone on.
You know it can hear when you start acting like Chinese, when your Chinese phone get on other people, right? But the line is open. Just call. We are about to wrap up. It's after the time.
Yeah, while we're waiting for the call, while we're waiting for the call, I just want to thank His Excellency President Boyka. I think he had a landmark success again.
Of course.
When they passed, when he was able to push the National Tourism Bill to detach tourism from the Ministry of Information, something that was part of his campaign. And I just want to really congratulate him for that. But the question now is, the challenge now is, we hope the tourism now going to generate a whole lot of funds and people just try to siphon them in our country. And so I got a whole lot of suggestions for the tourism. When it stands by itself, I have some suggestion because it's going to bring a lot of money in our country. And I want to congratulate him for pushing that bill.
You see that? You see, this is how the open-minded people, that's how people who loves their country, that's how they speak.
Why you want to use the word that people use on the palm wine treat? Why you want to use that English siphon? You think that palm wine, the people come and come drink out of here? The people come inside phones. You think that palm wine, will the people come and drink Dr. Mali? Yeah, man.
I don't know what else to do to you. I was gonna go.
I think we should look at the substance of the congratulation.
Yeah, but don't use the palm wine language on your cell phone like somebody gets some kind of bamboo stuff into the palm wine and sucking on it the stuff.
But yeah, it's sucking. I'm making a reference because of what happened in a Niger Delta in Nigeria. They discover oil, but the people are still suffering. All right, they were happy when they heard about the oil. Today, Nigerians are suffering. All right. So the national tourism, I love the idea. It's going to improve our tourist sector. It's going to bring in money. It's going to create new employment. But that money should be used for a vital.
And a phone call, yeah.
All right. Okay, let's hear you. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mr. So, how you doing?
Yeah, Clarence, how are you?
The issue that you are discussing tonight is very much paramount because I'm working in interior and I saw how the educational system in interior works. There are many teachers that in interior that teaching many of our young children are coming up, so they're not even high school graduate, and they are there getting their teaching, getting bringing the students out from even the high school. Besides, the international NGO are also going in by doing the teacher training in the zero district, in the zero county. They recruit people with C certificate, B certificate, and they send them down there to go train teachers that teach in the high school. So how can we really get a quality education to our children? International community not playing their role, even the government not playing their role. Besides the teacher that teaching it.
Okay, hold on, let me put the other color.
School and the teacher teaching private school.
Caller, just low. Hold on 1 second, Clarence. Caller, you just joined. Please lower your monitor. Yeah, Clarence, go ahead. Then I'll go to the next person.
The teacher teaching the government school, you go there and stay for 1 hour because you got to go to the private school to go teach. So the whole system are not being fair. The people who bring our children up because they teach our children depend on the teachers. If you are teaching a government school, get a full 8 hours and spend it in our school. To bring quality education to the children, because you know that the private school, you're teaching 2, 3 private school, you want to go and spend only 1 hour then go to your private school to go teach. To me, I'm not being fair to all, and many of these teachers complain that they're not getting the full salary, but you're not spending the full time on the job. So if you want better benefit, spend the full time on the job, get a quality education to the government school. But the private school, we know for when you want to go to the private school, go to the private school and determine your salary. They can't be working for the government and they sit there teaching 2, 3 private school. I don't think I've been fair to it. The tier point I want to make here, the training of the representative from the private school is very important because we say we pay for computer classes in the private school in Liberia for our children, and they are not teaching it. You will pay that money, you pay for SAC, you pay for swimsuit that the child will go for free. And sometimes they don't see it to the children. But it's part of the tuition that we're also paying. Thank you for the show, Mr. So.
Thank you so much, Carrington. Always good to have you here. Okay, let's go to this number here. Hopefully, then we're going to be wrapping up. 484, number 8412. Good evening, caller. 484, are you there? 484 8412. Are you there, caller? Airplane can blow home.
No, the other airplane on widow. I think I fatum out.
Jesus Christ. Caller, are you there? Are you there, caller?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay, guys. Maybe they just want to listen to it. Okay, what are we going home with? We gotta go. It's
well.
8
Let
minutes.
me go. Let me be the first to say this. There's a gentleman, fine gentleman that I met in Philadelphia the other day. They call him Sheriff. Very young man. He follow our show a lot. Sherry, I want to say good evening to you. The Liberals back in the base. Thank you for recognizing me among people. You make me proud. Thank you very much. I know sometimes I come out here and I sound ridiculous because that's why he said, Mr. Mr. So, the Liberal is speaking. I come out here and I sound ridiculous to many of you. And that's Sherry. Thank you for recognizing our talent. It's a talent for me to be ridiculous. It's a talent. But on a very serious note, all of you that continue to watch, I say thank you very much. And the fact that when you see us among people, you recognize us and say our name, call our name, and what have you, it's something that we really, really do appreciate, especially me. That even it doesn't matter what I do or where I am, I will always find time to come on this public forum and have a discussion. Sherry, again, thank you very much. Continue to be healthy. We'll continue to pray for one another. Thank you very much, Mr. So, for the show tonight.
You feeling now?
Mr. So, why will you? I made a beautiful statement. Why will you come and try
Why
to?
you can't wait for us to tell you say it's a beautiful one? You just let this sort of self-praise thing. He buying people all over the place so that I learned that you were giving money and all the other days so that people will
You
come.
see, your Chinese phone. You started with a woman tonight. She said, "Mr. So, can you hear me?" You see the Chinese phone you now start with?
Why she called?
Yeah, she did. She did, of course.
Okay, let me. I don't like you. I have nothing to. So then let me talk.
Esther say Fatuma got Chinese phone. So,
Okay, I'll call in.
Fatuma got Chinese phone. So,
Hello? Hello? The line. Hello? Are you hearing us? You see, the liberal now forcing people in broad channel to turn to your own fan and you not pass a channel from Chinese food over to your own fan. Wow. You better move from behind it. Hello, caller? Does that mean you're hearing me, right?
yeah, we hear you clear.
Yeah,
Apparently, maybe her phone on silent or so. I don't know.
no, probably the Chinese virus has extended.
Okay, well, I don't know. I see it's on. Look at like, wow, almost 1 second for some reason. I hope it's not like get a Bluetooth and they jump on the Bluetooth too. That could be if you're using a Bluetooth. All right. I see you connected going 1 minute, 12 seconds. So, Liberal, please, your channel phone.
She will call the real show tomorrow, where she will be allowed to express herself freely.
So, CEO, I think I'm about to leave now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, guys.
all of us.
Yep. You're good. You're good now. You still finding way to force it. I don't know. It's on, but for some reason you're not showing up.
But then why not try call her?
She
Call
said
her.
that the soul number is very low. That you are low. You need to tune up your volume because
I think you.
What?
Look how you.
your
What the number again, Mr.
Fatuma,
So?
so you need to tune all your volume.
Who, me?
No,
Mr. So, what the number
she
again?
needs to tune her volume. She
Let
said
me
she
get
hearing you, but you low.
get
So
my-
apparently her phone is the one. Her volume is low.
Yeah, get it. I think the other Chinese phone, if you throw away, get the American phone.
So,
Let a liberal put a number, or maybe that liberal only will work on.
But what's your number? Let me call direct. The number you call.
You put your number there.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on 1 minute.
Maybe that I don't want to Chinese.
no, but CEO,
It's easy to work with Chinese phone, so maybe
This is a real. This number look like a Baghdad number. How many numbers here?
These are
Don't make Mr. So go Jeremy or Pio or any Pio. You call him Baghdad.
Fatima, call this number so that you will express yourself.
Oh, really? I would be glad. I mean, it seems there's something that really got her attention tonight, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think we need to make their voices to be heard. If for any reason, I'm not sure why it's not going through here. But anyway,
I think Elvis is more independent than Keto because Elvis sound more independent than Keto. Keto is most of the time.
It's a terramazine sedition. There's nothing to waste. All of them, they're all terramazine sedition.
Okay, guys. Let's wrap up. Maybe hopefully Friday. It doesn't matter, Fatu. You can call in Friday, unless you want to.
The beauty of
she'll call me tomorrow night. Just because of her, I will be coming on tomorrow night. I really didn't want to come on, but I will come on tomorrow night just because of her.
The beauty of being a terramazine is at least
Okay.
When we see objectivity, we can.
Well, objectivity, your termasi, you got the termasi. You got no. You not see termasi that can fight malaria coming with objectivity. No.
Objectivity.
One side red, the other side blue. I mean, the other side black. That's
the
it.
empire around here. The empire. We're not pressing the empire yet. Or old empire too that can't even walk.
Good night. You not start something. What you mean by good night, Mr. So? Good night. Good night. Good night. Yeah, for old business. Good night. Somebody calling?
Okay, guys, good night. We'll find another day where you can speak.
Okay, Mr. Tooth. Good night. The papa stay young, the papa get it.
Yeah, you see, when you do that, I give you time to talk.
All right, guys. Good show. Thank you so much.
Is not available at this time. At the tone, please record your message. When you're finished recording, you may.
I said the guy chanting is not the viral now spread all over to the people. Okay, Terry, good night. Okay, folks, that's how we're going to end the program this event. Fatu, hopefully maybe it's a subsequent program you can call in and we can have a conversation. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye. Le président